Yo, what's poppin', peeps? Your boy T Money up in the Heezy. Happy Wednesday. I am back to annoy you with another update. Not a lot of things to show you tonight, but I do have a few things I picked up from the Criterion collection. I'm trying to boost my Criterion film collection up, and then I got a few things from Amazon.com and one thing from 88 Films. So, first up, I actually forgot to include this in my previous update. It's from the film Detective Restored Classics line, Dimension 13. Now, I think that Kino Lorber put a release of this out, and I wasn't sure which one to go with. But I figured I'd go with Film Detective just because, I don't know, switch it up a little bit. But yeah, so not really much to report on this one because I've seen the film, but I haven't watched this release. So those of you who don't know, it is from 1963, and it is directed by, it's directed by the great Francis Ford Coppola. Francis Ford Coppola. So yeah, I mean, can't really go wrong with that. Roger Corman, Francis Ford Coppola. Yes. So, that is Dimension 13. Next up, I got a release from 88 Films. This is number 18 on their 88 Asia line. It is The Ghost Lovers. Really, really love the artwork on that cover there. And inside there's a reversible cover artwork. I'm not going to take it out because it's in a little cellophane wrap, but just know that there's a little booklet, notes by Colin Waddle, and reversible cover artwork inside, which is kind of ugly. And I haven't seen this. It's a Shaw Brothers film, so I've definitely been boosting my Shaw Brothers films collection thanks to 88 Films. They've been putting out pretty much their whole Asia line, or the majority of it is Shaw Brothers films. So really cool. I've got a couple other ones coming too, like the One-Armed Swordsman and the Flying Missile or something like that. Those two are coming. So really stoked on those. Next up is a DVD. It's actually released by Retro Media, which is really cool. I always draw a blank on the dude's name who owns Retro Media. He's put out a bunch of his own films on the label. You guys know who I'm talking about. But anyway, this is a Jaws ripoff from 1976. I've never seen this movie. Mako, The Jaws of Death. So, yeah, I don't know really what to expect here. It looks like totally just a cash-in on the Jaws fame. But, yeah, I don't know. Excited to check it out. It's from a year after Jaws was filmed, so 1976. It says, with the worldwide success of Jaws, Florida's undisputed king of the bees, William Greff, set out to create his own shark-themed actioneer. It says, is it filmed in Super 8 as well? Taking a cue from his earlier success, Stanley, from 1972, a powerful thriller about a boy and his rattlesnake, Greff retooled his concept to combine Stanley. Stanley was released by Code Red, of course, and an obvious homage to the hit rat movie Willard, and Jaws, resulting effort Mako. So this is the result of his influence of Jaws, resulting in Mako, The Jaws of Death, starring Richard Jekyll, Harold Sakata, and Jennifer Bishop. Mako dared to shoot the action scenes. Using real... Okay, I don't know if that makes sense. Using real sharks, relying on experience gathered while directing the shark sequences in the epic James Bond movie Live and Let Die. Greff takes risky production into new, uncharted waters. The results, understandably intense, seen here for the first time in a 16:9 transfer. So it's a new transfer, but the film was not released on Blu-ray from Retro Media, which is fine, no big deal. But yeah, so excited to have this one as well. Never seen it before, so we'll check that out. So getting into some of the Criterions I picked up, I have 2, 4, 6 here. Of course, I had to grab this. Beautiful release, too. I wasn't aware that this came in like a whole slip box, and really nice. I'm not going to take it out because I've got it nicely wrapped up, but yeah, kind of late to the party on a lot of these Criterion releases, but I figured I'd dive into the catalog just because they're so freaking nice. But yeah, so we have Dazed and Confused, of course, classic comedy stoner film from 1993, and yeah, so cool. Happy to have that one. And next up, this one I heard about from Guillermo del Toro's list of his his favorite releases from Criterion. This is Time Bandits. This movie sounds... Guillermo, what did I say?
You said Guillermo del Toro.
Guillermo del Toro? Guillermo del Toro. Guillermo del Toro, whatever. Yeah, so this movie sounded awesome, though. Nice lenticular cover. In this fantastic voyage through time and space from Terry Gilliam, a boy named Kevin escapes his gadget-obsessed parents to join a band of time-traveling dwarfs. Armed with a map stolen from the Supreme Being, they plunder treasure from Napoleon and Agamemnon, but the evil...
Agamemnon.
Agamemnon, sorry.
Agamemnon.
Who is Agamemnon?
King Agamemnon from old, Greek mythology.
Oh, well, he's played by Sean Connery, so that's cool. But the evil genius, played by David Warner, is watching their every move, featuring a darkly playful script by Gilliam and his Monty Python cohort, Michael Palin. Time Bandits is at once a giddy fairy tale, a revolutionist history lesson, and a satire of technology gone awry. So it sounds like a wonderful little adventure in this film. Really excited to check it out for sure. It's not really your typical T-Money 86 horror movie, that's for sure. But yeah, we have Time Bandits. So thank you, Guillermo del Toro, for the recommendation. I'll check that out probably in 10 years. Just kidding. Alright, next up we have one I have wanted to see for a long time. Island of Lost Souls, directed by Eric C. Kenton from 1932. Not to be confused with Dr. Moreau's... What is it? Dr. Moreau's Island of Terror. I don't even know. I'm getting them mixed up. But, a twisted treasure from Hollywood's pre-code horror heyday, Island of Lost Souls is a cautionary tale of science run amok, adopted from H.G. Wells. Oh, so it is. I'm sorry. H.G. Wells. See, I don't know what I'm talking about here. It's adopted from H.G. Wells' novel The Island of Dr. Moreau. In one of his first major movie roles, Charles Lawton is a mad doctor conducting ghastly genetic experiments on a remote island in the South Seas, much to the fear and disgust of the shipwrecked man who finds himself trapped there. This touchstone of movie terror, directed by Eric C. Kenton, features expressionistic photography by Carl Strauss, groundbreaking makeup effects that have inspired generations of monster movie artists, and the legendary Bela Lugosi in one of his most gruesome roles. So, yes, this is not the doomed story of Richard Stanley's Island of Lost Souls. Is that what I was thinking of? Maybe. I could just, I don't know. Well, we'll quit while I'm ahead, guys. But I really want to check this one out. So, yeah. I didn't realize it was from 1932. So, yeah, it's another film I'm not familiar with, but had to grab it. We have The Innocents. Sounded like a really good, thriller. This genuinely frightening, exquisitely made... See, so let me pause for a second. Just say that Criterion is a company that I'm not really familiar with a lot of the work that they put out, but I'm really excited and also kind of what's the word, intimidated by a lot of their works, just because they're very cultural and foreign and challenging. I think a lot of them, it's not like a typical, I forget what Criterion's mantra is, but they're known for putting out challenging but amazing films at the same time. So anyway, this one by Freddie Francis, cinematography by Freddie Francis, and it's a genuinely frightening, exquisitely made supernatural gothic that stars Deborah Kerr as an emotionally fragile governess who comes to suspect there is something very, very wrong with her precocious new charges. Psychosexually intensified adaptation of Henry James's classic The Turn of the Screw, co-written by Truman Capote and directed by Jack Clayton. The Innocents is a triumph of narrative economy and technical expressiveness, from its chilling sound design to the Stygian depths of its widescreen cinematography by Freddie Francis. So from 1961, it is in black and white. See, I mean, just the synopsis is challenging for me. I can't even pronounce those fucking words. But, I mean, yeah, so excited. This one, I think, was recommended by Logan Toxic in his top 10 movies that he recommended you pick up. Aikuru. a film about death, I guess a man who's dying, and the whole story of what he goes through. So it is directed by, it's a film by Akira Kurosawa, who is a pretty renowned director for sure. And all of these, of course, all Criterion Collection releases are fantastic transfers, chock with special features. I mean, it's basically the American Arrow, except maybe even better. So yes, it says the Criterion Collection, a continuing series of important classic and contemporary films. Of course, that's what they say on every release. That's kind of their slogan. So this next one, and actually I think the last one I have to show you guys tonight, is one that I was wanting to get for the longest time, but couldn't grab a good price on it, but I got it on eBay for a fairly good deal. We have Lone Wolf and Cub, so I finally pulled the trigger on this one, guys, and yeah, just I've heard it's amazing. Seth Cellular Terror actually recommended it to me last night and said it was amazing. So I mean, I know this film is amazing just from the amount of hype and a critical acclaim that it gets among us genre enthusiasts, but I am really stoked to check it out for myself. Apparently there are some brutal battle sequences in this, amazing effects, I think probably practical special effects or whatever, but yeah, so Lone Wolf and Cub, based on the best-selling Magna series, the 6th intensely kinetic Lone Wolf and Cub films elevated Shunbara to bloody new heights. The Shogun's executioner, Ito Ogama, takes it to wandering the countryside as an assassin, along with his infant son, Daigoro, and a seemingly infinitely weaponized permabulator. Whoa. Helping those he encounters while seeking vengeance for his murdered wife. Delivering stylish thrills and a body count that defies belief, Lone Wolf and Cub is beloved for its brilliantly choreographed action sequences, as well as its tender depiction of the bonds between a parent and a child. This is a 3 Blu-ray special edition pack, 2 new 2K digital restorations of all 6 films. Just an amazing release, chock full of all kinds of new swag. So really, really excited for this release as well. And yeah, I'm late to the party on this one, but I finally had enough ched to grab it. And also I just finally remembered to grab it, to be honest. So very psyched for this one. So yes, guys, so that's it. Dazed and Confused, Lone Wolf and Cub, Island of Lost Souls, 88 Films, aka Shaw Brothers, The Ghost Lovers, The Innocents, Dementia 13, Time Bandits, and the Aikuru. And last but not least, we have the Cheeseball, perhaps the Cheeseball, Mako, The Jaws of Death. So thanks guys so much for watching this update, and I'll catch y'all very soon. Have a great night.